In this lab session, we will configure Keystone version 3 in our lab setup, and also we will try to create domains, and then we will try to create project inside those domains, and then add the users with particular role to that project. So let's begin with that. So before doing that, we will be logging into the controller node. So please remember, for doing any kind of Keystone related activity, you most of the time you will be required to log into the controller node, until unless you are having a separate node running with the Keystone components. So let's log in to a controller node. So SSH to that. So example.com. So as you can see, logged in. So what I will do, if you see this Keystone RC file I have, I will take a copy of that and make it as a Keystone RC for v3. So let's see how we can do that. So admin v3. So let's verify. Okay, it's created a new file. So now edit this file. Here you can see this export OS auth URL. So this is the endpoint. Here it's clearly saying, like, it's pointing to version 2 for Keystone. So let's make it as a v3, and this prompt, just for a better separation from other prompt, we'll make it as a Keystone admin v3. Let's save this and come out of the file. So one more thing need to add in this file. So in this Keystone RC file, so this is the line you need to add, that export OS identity API version equals to 3, so that it can leverage the version 3 for your Keystone. So once you are done with this modification, you need to source this file. So source Keystone RC underscore v3. So now you can see Keystone admin v3. So let's do one thing, just to see OpenStack. Suppose hypervisor list. So let's see if it is able to connect and get that information. It's taking little bit time. So you can see it is able to authenticate and give you the details. So we have enabled the version 3 RC file. So let's proceed with the next step. So in the next step, we will be creating a domain for our lab setup. So let's do that. OpenStack. Before creating, let's list down all the domains. So OpenStack domain list. So you may see, like, default domains are there. So that is default domain. So there is no custom domain created yet. So let's do that. OpenStack domain, create. So let's give the name as a Red Hat. So you will be able to see that it's created a domain. Let's list down again. So you can see it is listing down the Red Hat domain. So now what we will do, we will enable the domain multi-domain support for our Keystone, so that we can work with domain and also have a centralized LDAP authentication in background. So let's do that. So for doing that, we will be using the commands OpenStack config. So this is the command to configure OpenStack components. So the OpenStack-config. Then we are taking the configuration file. So for doing that, we are setting up the configuration file etc keystone.conf. So that is the configuration file for Keystone. Then we are giving identity and then domain specific driver enable true. So what it will do, it will enable the domain support for our identity service. Then we are setting up the domain configuration directory, so that is etc keystone domains, and then we are enabling the driver for SQL so that it will be able to communicate with the LDAP. So let's execute one by one these commands. So paste it. So one done. Let's do the second one. Now let's do the third one. So you can see that we have modified the configuration. You can verify also that. So let's do one thing, grep -I, keep it in double quote, domain underscore specific drivers. Let's keep that only. So you can see domain specific drivers enable equals to true, whatever I have said. So whatever changes we have made via OpenStack config command, that changes are replicated in the keystone.conf file. So that is the configuration file for Keystone. So once you are done with this, let's create this configuration directory. So if you see, let's do one thing, ls-ld, just for verification purpose whether this directory exists or not. So you can see this directory doesn't exist. So let's create this directory. So etc keystone domain. So all the domain specific configuration files will be stored under this directory, that etc keystone domains. So we are done with this. Let's go inside this directory and then create the domain. That's, if you remember, we have created the domain Red Hat. So we will create the configuration file for this particular domain inside our OpenStack platform. So let's create the configuration file. So this is a full path, etc keystone domains, then keystone.redhat.com. So the naming format for your domain specific configuration files are like keystone, then dot domain name, then dot conf. So let's create the configuration file for this particular domain. So let's copy paste. So I have already handy this configuration file content. So this content for this file looks like this. So we are enabling the LDAP authentication or that domain means user support. So for that we are giving LDAP, then URL we are giving LDAP, what is the LDAP URL, server address mainly, then we are giving that user, then password, suffix, then group TDN, then user object class. So all these informations we are giving, and if you can see at the end we are giving also identity service. For that the driver will be LDAP. So once you are done with this, probably you can keep a screenshot of this and have it handy for your future reference, so that whenever you are going to configure this domain configuration file, you can refer this screenshot. So let's save it and come out. We can verify also. Let's cat this file. So you can see, yeah, whatever we have added, those things are already added into this file. So now what we will do, if you see here, that user permission with this file is the root. So we'll change that to keystone. So chown, we'll change it for entire directory. So let's come out of the directory, chown -r keystone, then etc keystone domains. So let's do verify that. So etc keystone. So this been changed to keystone user. So now once you're done with this, we need to restart the Apache service. So please, if you remember that when I was discussing in the theory section that now Keystone service is integrated with HTTPD service or Apache service, so that whenever you need to make reload or restart the Keystone service, you need to restart the Apache service. So same thing we will do here. So systemctl restart HTTPD. So it will take some time to restart because it will be in background restarting for this Keystone to reload the newly made changes. So let's verify the status also. So you can see it's been active and running. So you can see here Keystone is also coming under HTTPD. So now once you're done with this, so let's verify whether we are able to communicate with our LDAP server or not. So for that we will be doing OpenStack user list. Now if you do only user list, it will show you the local user. So let's verify that first. You will be seeing whatever users we have created. So you can see here, if you remember, we created user 1, user 2, those users. So those users are already been present. So now what we will do, we will be checking for the domain Red Hat. So just to verify whether we are able to communicate with our LDAP server or not. So you can see it is able to communicate with the domain Red Hat, and it's listing down the two users, that is user A and user B. So that means whatever configuration we have made, so that's been working properly and is successfully fetching the user list from the domain. So here you can keep a note of these IDs for user A or user B, so which you will be using in later point of time, or you can come back again and execute this command, that OpenStack user list -- domain and then domain name, to get the list of users and their respective ID. So now what we will do, we will be verifying the Horizon dashboard to see whether now we are having this LDAP authentication enabled or not. So let's go back to our dashboard. So it's already open there, so let me refresh it. So it's refreshed. Let's see if we are having any domain support or not. So loading, give me a moment. So let it load. It's little bit slow actually. So you can see it's loaded, but still only username password is there. It doesn't have the domain yet enabled in the Horizon. So for that we need to make changes in the Horizon dashboard configuration file, so that we will have domain enabled for Horizon also. So for that again we will be going back to the controller node and we will make the necessary changes. So for this, let's open the Horizon configuration file. So that is vi/etc/openstack-dashboard/local_settings. So this is the settings file for Horizon dashboard. So we will be looking for mainly two component. So they are Horizon multi-domain support and default domain. So this is OpenStack Keystone multi-domain support and OpenStack Keystone default domain. So multi-domain support we have to put it as a true, and default domain we have to put the whatever the default domain we want to use. So let's look for the first parameter in the file. So to search, so you can see here multi-domain support is been given as false. So let's make it as a true, and here you can see that OpenStack Keystone default domain is default, but it's been hashed out. So let's remove the hash. So these are all the two options we need to change. OpenStack Keystone multi-domain support equals true and OpenStack Keystone default domain equals to default. then save this file and again restart the HTTPD service. So your Horizon dashboard also related to your HTTPD service. So if you want to restart your dashboard service, you have to restart the HTTPD. So we'll wait for it to get completed. So it's been completed, so we can verify also whether HTTPD is running properly or not. So let's status, yes, it's been active running. So let's go back again here and again refresh the page. So we'll be able to see the domain support if we made the changes properly. So let's wait for it to get load. It's not yet done, so I think we made some mistakes. Let's verify again. So let's visit again our file. So let's open this via local settings. So let's look for multi domain. So this is what we did, but we didn't remove the hash. So we need to remove the hash from both the option. That's the mistake we made. So let's restart again. Hopefully now we will be able to see the changes been reflect in our portal. So let's wait for it to get completed. Yeah, it's completed now. So let's refresh again the page. So we'll be able to see the domain support now inside our page. So it's little bit slow actually, but let's see whether it's loading. Yeah, you can see now it's been loaded and it's have the new option called domain. So domain, username, password. Now we can log in with the domain credential inside our OpenStack platform. So as we still didn't use any domain user inside our OpenStack or given any permission, we'll not able to log in with that, or if we log in also will not be able to see anything. So as of now what we'll do, we'll just verify whether we are able to log in with our local admin credential or not. So for local users you have to put the domain as default, and for the remote users, so you have to give that specific domain name. Like in our case it is Red Hat. So if you are login with the user A or user B, you have to use the domain name as Red Hat and then you give the username and password. Let's wait for it to log in. So please bear with me, it's a little bit slow. So you can see I am logged in as admin user, so that is the local admin, and able to see all the running projects. So let's come out or keep it like this. Now what we will do, we will create a project inside the domain we created Red Hat. If you remember that we created the Red Hat domain. So just to refresh it back, so let's put domain list. So you will be able to see we have already created the Red Hat domain. So here we have the Red Hat domain. So now what we will do, we will create a project and will assign user A to that project as a normal member. So for that, do OpenStack project create, then give the project name. Let's put as a project A, then hyphen domain equals to Red Hat. So let's see, it's created, yes. So now do OpenStack project list. So we should be able to see the project A been created. So if you want to see that detailed information, OpenStack project show. Now let's take this it will be able to show you the domain name. So domain ID you can see like EA0F at the end. So let's verify what was the domain ID for Red Hat. Yes, EA0F. So by this you can understand that project A is been created under domain what we created as a Red Hat. So it's been created. Now what we will do, we will assign user A as the member for this particular project. So OpenStack role add hyphen user A hyphen user domain. So this user belongs to which domain? So that's Red Hat, and then project domain, that is also Red Hat, and then project name, that's project A, and then as a member. So these two options is very important, that user domain and project domain. So if you are wrongly giving some other wrong domain in either of these, you may get an error, or you may add a wrong user to a wrong project. So let's do that. So it's been added that particular user to project A. Now what we will do, we will cross verify with that particular user. I will try to log in and we will see whether we are able to log in to that user with that project A, and let's see how it comes. So domain we will put as a Red Hat, and then user A, and then password we will keep for user A. So password, let's put that. So let's try to connect. Let's see whether we are able to log in and can see whether user A is part of project A. So let's see, it's logging in. It's a little bit slow. Yeah, so you can see it's logged in, and if I click on project for user A, so it's been project A. So user A is part of project A. So now what we will do, we will create another one project inside Red Hat domain only, but in that project we will add user B as a admin user. So let's do that. OpenStack project create project B hyphen domain, sorry, spelling mistake, Red Hat. So let's, yeah, it's been created. Now we'll do the same thing, that role part here, the member will make it as a admin, that's the role. Here I'll put as a project B. So user name will be changing it to user B. So same command, OpenStack role add user B, user domain Red Hat, project domain is also Red Hat, and project name is project B, and giving the role as admin. So let's execute this. So it's been done. So let's do one thing, let's come out of this and try to log in as user B and see how it works. So let's put user B and password for user B. So you can see user B logged in, and you can see one thing here, you can see the admin console. So user B is part of project B, so he is the admin for project B. So like this you can add a support for LDAP or domain support inside your Keystone by enabling the version 3, and then create domain inside your OpenStack platform, and then create projects inside the domain and start assigning the membership or admin for those projects to the users belonging to the LDAP or whatever remote authentication you are using.